I have a couple of questions, but they're short and they're kind of interrelated. So I have a home. It has equity in it. The payoff amount is about 130,000. From following, some of the information on mortgages and everything like that, stream of thought is, do you pay your house off when you're getting ready to retire? Some say yes, some say no. Do I take some of the equity out to do some of the repairs on the house? I don't know whether I want to refinance or not. And then my last question, I do have a line of credit. So as I near retirement, do I fold that in or do I pay that off? So those are my questions
Your
here.
line of credit, is that an equity like a HELOC?
Yes.
Okay, great. Keep that HELOC. All right. Even if you don't use the money, all right, it's there waiting in the wings. It's not costing you a thing, just in case you need to tap into your equity.
Okay.
All right.
Thank
So
you.
you definitely want to keep that. The complete answer to your question is, what is it going to cost you to make a particular decision? You want to make the decision that's going to cost you the least amount of money. There's a lot of math that goes into the questions that you just asked.
Okay.
And this is why it's so stressful. This is why we like to rely on heuristics, or what's called a rule of thumb. Someone says, here's the one or two things that you have to do. All right. And that's what we're looking for, because that's what we're used to. When in fact, when you take a look at what your situation is, there are about 10 variables that we have to consider. And as we take a look at those 10 variables, there are several different ways to line those variables up. What do we do in what sequence? Do you see what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Which one of these things do we do first, second, third, fourth, fifth, when we're considering everything that has to do with our money? And when we put it all together, that's over 3.6 million different ways to arrange those variables. One of them is optimum. So we can sit down and rack our brain with our pencil and paper, while the bank, it just pushes a button, uses a computer, and is beating us all to heck. Or we can get our own computer and beat them at their own game. What do you think?
You're correct, because that's where I'm stuck.
Yeah.
I'm stuck with, do I pay off the house, the amount to pay off the house? Should I do that? And so that's really is where I am. Well, if I move, the mortgage will be higher because I've been in my house for a while. The mortgage really would be higher than what I'm paying now. So I'm stuck. I'm kind of in that space.
Exactly. Did it come across your mind that you might want to use what you have to make even more money in your retirement? Did that come across your mind?
Use what I have as it relates to equity in the house.
Use the equity in the house or the house itself.
And so that's what I was thinking as well. So yes, so I probably will, and I have to say probably because I don't want to vow.
Yes.
And then I do it, but yes, I would need clarity on that, because some people have gotten me probably this far,
Right.
but it's just like the next couple of steps that's not clear, and I don't make a move unless it's clear in my mind. It's not clear yet.
Well, here's the thing you want to think about, Malibu, because in any advice that you've received in the past about finances, here's the one piece of advice you didn't get. Here's how much it's going to cost you to follow the advice I just gave you. No one gave you hard numbers on the cost.
Correct.
And this is what we're going to provide for you. Hard numbers on the cost of each one of your decisions. Which one do I do? Which one is going to cost me the least and make me the most money? We plug all that information into our computers and we look at the different ways of looking at it. And you get to choose which one costs you the least amount of money and makes you the most. I don't have to think about it. When I jump in my car and I'm heading to your city, listen, I put it in my Waze app and I don't think about it again. I don't pull out a map on the way and check out Waze, see if it's acting right. No, I put it in there and let it guide me to your place. All right. And if I hit a roadblock or there's traffic up ahead, Waze is going to route me around that traffic so that I can get to the destination as quickly as possible. That's what our program will do for you. When life happens, our program will readjust, recalculate, and put you back on the road to wealth. How's that sound?
That sounds great. So once you do that, are the different ways to allow me to make a decision, does it factor in risk?
Oh, definitely. And the risk has to do with your tolerance.
Correct.
Right. Here's what we're talking about when it really comes down to it. The riskiest thing that we're going to be talking about is how likely are you to trust the information and to follow it? Because here's what we're going to present to you. I'm being completely transparent here. Can you afford to pay less to the bank?
Oh, is that a rhetorical question or you want me to answer?
I do want you to answer.
Oh, I can afford to pay less.
Exactly. And that's where you need to keep your mind, because
Mhm.
every decision, we're trying to find out how much more it's going to cost us. But when it comes to understanding
Correct.
amortization, it's about
Right.
how much less we can pay
Yeah,
the bank. That's the paradigm shift. Paying
correct.
less money to the bank when we are already accustomed to pay more. And do you realize part of the cognitive dissonance that I talked about is, I've had people argue me down about paying less to the bank, saying we can't do that, the bank won't allow it.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Okay, so
I can
that's what I
imagine.
need you to do, is to pay less to the bank, and we can help you. Okay,
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for your time.
you're welcome.
Appreciate it.
But Don has some valuable information that can contribute to the quality of a person's life. And it only costs you a few dollars. It's his book. Why not get that?
I'm going to go through the P.I.L.L method myself with some of my investment properties. So I'm going to link up with Don, and then I'm going to sit down with him, show him my investment portfolio, and see how I can eliminate interest.